Few months ago, I bought the Canon G7X Mark III with super high expectations. But after a few weeks and many failed photo sessions, I was considering throwing it away in a big, ugly trash. This camera is everywhere. You've probably seen it all over TikTok with a million different settings and tips floating around. But let's be real, are you getting the best out of it? I get it. I was right where you are a few months back. Confused, frustrated, just trying to make sense of it all and beating myself for spending so much on a camera and still not getting the best out of it. But don't worry, I got you now. As someone with a basic foundation in photography, I've figured out how to unlock the true potential of this camera. Welcome to the Canon G7X Mark III series masterclass. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Danica. If you're new here, we're now besties. My channel is all about becoming the best version of ourselves, learning how to truly live, navigate, and enjoy life. Emphasis on ourselves. I am not here to teach you, but I hope we both learn from shared experiences. If you're ready to glow up and upgrade, you are in the right place. Once again, I'm Danica, a woman in her 20s, living, learning. Why do it alone when we can do it together? Okay, that's the intro. All right, let's get right into this video and tell me what you think about this intro. This is the first time I'm doing this intro and I'm kind of trying to figure out what this channel is about. So tell me what you think. This video is inspired by a personal struggle and also a TikTok I made like 2 weeks ago that did really well. Not like viral, it just did really well compared to my other TikToks. And I kind of figure out like a lot of people are really struggling with the settings and everything about this camera, so I just decided to make a video about it. All right, so I got a Canon G7X Mark III I think 2 months ago because we're currently in November, and I was so frustrated at first because there were a lot of settings on TikTok, or do this or do that, but nothing seemed to be working. Like my phone at that point, my phone was even taking better pictures than the Canon, and I just felt like throwing it in the bin. There are a lot of settings on TikTok, on YouTube, or do this or do that, but nobody actually really tells you what you really need to do to get that final picture. When it comes to photography or when it comes to taking pictures in general, a lot of things comes into play. It's not just about the camera, it's about the camera, it's about you, and it's about post-production. So keep watching, let's go through this together. So first things first, what do you need to get a perfect picture? So obviously you need a camera, but this video is about the Canon G7X Mark III. Honestly, I think these tricks or these things I'm about to teach you right now can work with other digital camera series, because this is currently sold out everywhere and I think people are kind of buying other cameras. So I honestly think these tricks would work. So just try it and let me know. And if you have a mobile phone, if I get 100 or more comments on saying, oh, I want this, then I'll make a video on how to make your iPhone picture look like a digital camera picture. So let's see. I've never gotten 100 comments before, by the way, so let's see if it happens, right? Moving on, we need the Facetune app. Facetune app is like a mini Photoshop. It's like Photoshop on your mobile phone, and it's so easy to use. At first, when I started taking pictures, I was kind of using Photoshop to edit my pictures, but it was so difficult and kind of time consuming. The Canon G7X Mark III is a point shoot and post camera. It's not a point shoot and edit for days camera, so I really didn't want to make a big deal about the whole process. And as an influencer, if you're trying to be consistent, speed and consistency is very important, and that's why the Facetune will do this job. The Facetune is a very amazing app and it definitely would give you your desired results. And thirdly, we need a friend, a boyfriend, or a husband that has your best interest at heart. You need someone that is patient enough to take your pictures, you know, get a perfect picture, because if you don't have a perfect picture, to like get that final amazing picture will be kind of hard. So you really need someone that is committed to taking your pictures. All right, so let's start. We start with the camera first. So this is the Canon G7X Mark III, and this is it. I have like a pink case over it to kind of protect it from dust and all that stuff, and it's kind of cute though. So this is it. So when you bring your camera out of the box first, you see this, right? You see the settings. So you turn it on right here, right? Turn on your camera. So this is what it looks like when you turn it on. So there are many settings in the camera, in this camera, you should actually not touch because they're not just important. So first thing you should do when you turn on this camera is to set it to P. You can see my camera is currently in P mode. Okay, I know there are a lot of people telling you to set it to SCN or to set it to manual or to do this or to do that, but trust me, put your camera in P. Make sure you don't take it off. This camera is not supposed to be complicated. This is not supposed to be a professional camera that you mess up with a setting. It's just a digital camera. So you should make peace with that first, I guess. So set it to P. Another very important thing is to set your exposure to -2. So this is called exposure compensation, is to tell the camera how bright or how dark you want your picture to look. So dark pictures always look the best because they just kind of have the best quality. So leave your camera at -2, P -2. These two settings for me are non-negotiable. Daytime, nighttime, indoors, outdoors, they are non-negotiable for me. So moving on, always leave your ISO between 200 to 400. I don't think it should exceed 400 because for you to get that kind of G7X picture that made you buy this camera in the first place, don't take your ISO anything more than 400. From 200 to 400 will do the job. If it's darker, trust me, because your camera, it's in program auto, the camera would automatically do the job, making it brighter or giving you more light with the other settings, the shutter speed and the aperture and all of that, right? So after that, we're moving over to menu. When you get to the menu, you see like a lot of stuff right here. So firstly, image quality. Image quality, you have RAW, you have JPEG and all of that. Don't worry about, leave your picture in RAW. RAW captures the best quality, and honestly JPEG is not even needed. So make sure you always shoot in RAW, and aspect ratio 3.2. Then don't bother about these things, you don't need them. So moving over to 2, end the filter auto. End the filter is like a sunglasses for your camera. So if you're in a very bright place, for example, or if you're shooting in outdoors, the sun can be a bit tricky when you're trying to like take a picture. So leave it on auto, because I know most people say you don't need ND filter at night, but just leave it in auto for some reason. Just leave it there. So then we have the highlight tone priority, turn it off. Auto lightening optimizer, turn it off. So highlight tone priority is it's a way that the camera underexposes your picture to preserve details. For example, if you're wearing a white cloth and shooting in sunlight, the white might be too white when you take a picture, so the camera kind of preserves the details of the white. I'm explaining each and everything to you so you know what to do when you are in certain situation. It's not just about giving you the settings, it's about you knowing what to do when you are in any situation. We'll go to the auto lightening optimizer, turn it off, because this is going to like kind of help you adjust the brightness and contrast of your picture, and you really don't want that because it doesn't give you, because your camera is already in program auto, giving the camera 80% responsibility. So you really don't want to give the camera 100% responsibility, so you probably be able to do some things in post-production. Metering mode, set it to evaluative metering. You have sport, you have center weighted average metering, but set it to evaluative metering because then it spreads the light across all your picture. These you really don't need it. Number 4, we go to white balance. Leave your stuffs at auto white balance. Trust me, you really don't need to. Don't even play with this one. Picture style auto, you have options on portrait. You have options portrait, landscape. I usually used to shoot in portrait, but if you shoot in portrait, it's kind of going to blur your picture because it's trying to smooth your skin and all of that. And trust me, it's going to just reduce your picture quality. So for picture style, leave it in auto. You go to 5, you don't need any of these. 6, okay, autofocus operation, one shot autofocus. Autofocus method, tracking, because you know what, guys, we all pose, we do like this, we do like that. So you need to set it to tracking so the autofocus can actually track your face and take the best picture for you. These you don't need, these you don't need. I think that's all for this. These are like video settings, and I really don't use this camera for videos, so I'm really not going to go into that. But these are all the settings you need for this camera. Tips and tricks I'm going to give you right now are the most important thing that will make this camera give you the perfect picture. 1, planning. I know many people don't do this, but I'm not someone that just randomly wakes up one morning and just go take any picture. I plan my picture, or what am I wearing, how does it look, where am I going to. I think you should plan your outfit with the place you're going to kind of match the whole vibe, right? I think that's number 1. Number 2, this camera has a lot of inconsistency. Like, for example, you can take one picture and it looks good, and then the next picture is going to look very bright or something. So it has a lot of inconsistency. So I would advise you to take as many pictures as possible, so when you're in post-production you can, like, you know, select the picture and just get the perfect one. So if you take a picture once and it's very good and you take the next is very bright, don't freak out or don't try to change your setting. Just click it again. Trust me, it's going to look better. So that's one thing. Number 3, when you try to take your picture, there's this green stuff that appears. It's like the focus. Make sure your camera is focused before you take a picture, because this camera looks better with a flash. So the flash is like the trick of taking this a perfect picture with this camera. So make sure the green thing is actually showing before you click it, so the flash can understand where your subject is. That way the camera is going to darken the background a bit and kind of focus on your subject, giving you the perfect picture. Another tip is don't shoot too fast. Like, take your time, click. If you shoot this camera is not a heavy duty camera. It's not to like shoot a lot of stuff all at once. You need to shoot slow. Like, you click once, you wait, you click. Like, don't shoot like it's not going to work, right? You have to shoot slowly. I think this is all my tricks and my settings for this camera. So I'm going to write my settings on the screen, so you can always come back to this video to like watch and practice and learn. All right, moving on, we're going to the Facetune app. So like I said, Facetune is a mini Photoshop, so use it very well. I know it's a paid app, it's not a free app, so yes, you have to pay. Good things cost money, so you have to invest in it if you want a good picture. All right, so you open your Facetune app and you press the plus icon. So we're going to be using this picture right here for practical. All right, so this is a raw photo I took with my Canon G7X Mark III. It looks pretty good. So the thing is, always try to get a good picture, so in post-production when you edit your picture it becomes amazing. If you don't get a good picture prior to, you know, everything, if you take it to post-production it might still look very good but not like amazing, right? So the first thing we're going to do here is to retouch the skin, like smoothing the skin. So you do that, you press smooth over here, you know, you just go over where you want to smooth, like the hand and just places like that, right? So I like to always reduce this to like leave it on 80, so it just doesn't like blur the picture and make it look very weird. So this is the only thing I do for the retouching, and that is it. So next thing, we moving over to the main thing. I like this picture, but I feel like it doesn't have spice, it doesn't have a feel, it's just there. So this is what I do. I go here, first thing I do is to, okay, so the amazing thing about this app is that you can edit each individual elements of your picture. You can edit just the portrait, you can edit just the background, and you can edit everything. So first thing, we edit portraits. So we want to give our skin tone a bit of tan and saturation. You go to color, right, that is it. Let's leave it at 25, and then we go to saturation. I don't use saturation here most times. I'm going to tell you what I use. So for this I just use color because I want my skin to like pop as well as everything. So we click here and then we'll go back to, make sure you always click before you go back, and then we'll click here, we'll go back to background. I want you to, I always love to darken my background. Now, so you can see the picture now has a few compared to this versus this. So you see it looks very good. And then you just, most times if my background is kind of, you know, too plain, I add a bit of color to it. Let's say like 10. You have to make sure your background and your skin are not matching in terms of color. One has to be more saturated than the other. As in the case of this picture, my skin is more saturated than the background, and that is it. We come back here, and the next thing we have to do is to come back on all. We have to sharpen the picture 10. So when you post it on Instagram, the quality still looks very good. And this is it. We're done with everything we have to do in Facetune. We save it. And then this is another thing you have to do. When you save it, you come back to your photos. This is it. This is the picture we just edited. You go to iPhone edit. You have to go to warmth. Yes, and turn up the warmth to like 10. Then it gives that Canon G7X Mark III look. And this is the final result of our picture. When we post it on Instagram, the quality doesn't drop, it doesn't look blurry, it looks good, it looks chic, our skin looks very tan, and that is how you get a perfect picture with a Canon G7X Mark III. Okay guys, we've come to the end of this video. I really hope you learned something from this video. If you have any question, don't forget to drop it in the comment section. I'll be looking and trying my best to like help you and also reply. Like I said before, this channel is all about becoming the best version of ourselves, and how we present ourselves to the public really matters, and that is why your Instagram picture has to eat. Thank you for watching once again. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.